Mm, yeah,
Hope my screen is visible to you.
yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, okay. Let's start from the basics, and here we are going to discuss about how software testing, and hopefully we need to complete this ISTQB certification for our future career.
Mm,
And this is the agenda which we are going to cover. This is like basics of testing, how we need to, what are the types, and how we are going to test, how to write the test case and execute the test case, and test report preparation, and ISTQB certification. These are all the things which is involved in basics of testing. I think so, Vasant, you have posted lot many things in LinkedIn about code, right? And software testing, which is like quality control for those codes. And this is help to catch the bugs. That is, we need to we need to recognize the bugs which are all there, and we need to rectify it. We need to raise it, track defects, and we need to track those. That will comes under testing. And we need to assess the business, which will reduce their time, saving the money, and which will not involve like last minute problems, and it should not wasted our effort. These are all involved in basics of testings.
mm,
And see, actually, the goals is to detect bugs as much as possible earlier, and it need to be improve the product quality, and we need to validate the functionality, which is provided by business. And these are all the types of testing. Basic type categories: function, non-function, and maintenance. Mostly will cover under functional, which are all involve unit testing, integration, system, and UAT. Which the functional testing cover does the login work, does what are the system does, which will include like unit integration, the system, and UAT. Basically, we will do functional testing. And non-function involve like performance, security, and usability testing. That is like how the system works, whether it is fast, and the security is proper, it is easily usable, like that. And next we will do more the maintenance testing, which will involve regression and retesting. Regression means like if we are adding a new feature to a system, we need to check it will not break any old one. That is comes under regression testing. And the retesting means like we need to recheck the bug whether it is fixed properly or not. And may I know till now you have any doubts or you need to clarify anything?
yeah, is recognition is once it's a replace type or
Regression is not retesting. Retesting is if you are raising a bug, and if you have got notification like the bug got fixed. For example, in Jira, if you are raising the ticket and the bug got fixed, you need to retest the feature again. That is retesting. Regression comes under like if you are adding a new feature to a system.
okay.
I think so. One of you go on mute because I'm getting echo.
Open. So now clear?
Like regression, if you're adding a new feature and you need to check whether the old function is working properly or not, that will does not affect old functionality.
Okay.
That is the difference between regression and retesting. And in next slide, we'll in like this is a small simple explanation about all the testing. You no need to confuse about each and everything. That is, each and everything is different, but with a similar difference. Like unit testing is you are going to test a small part of a code. That is a unit testing. And integration testing, you need to check two or more parts of the system is working together. And system testing, you need to check the whole software. UAT, it is a final testing, like we need to check as how the user you need to check, like final testing by users, whether the software is working properly or not. And the performance testing, how it is fast and stable or not, the software is. Security, as I discussed earlier, like the software is safe, it is secured or not. And the usability testing is like software is easy and comfortable to use. The regression testing, make sure that old features are working properly. It does not affect the new features. And the smoke testing, like a basic function, like you need to check before enter into the sanity testing, you need to check the smoke testing, like the basic functionality is working properly or not. Sanity testing means you need to check the specific part before starting. And exploratory testing, like without any scripts or without any test case, you need to check whether the unexpected issue is occurring or not. For that, it is exploratory testing. I'll share this. Could you please, one of you, go on mute? Either Krishna or Vasan. Yeah, I'll share this if required in future, because this is a simple explanation. We can able to see further. Shall we move ahead?
Yeah.
And now we are going to see what is upstream and downstreams in software testing, like how it will involve in manual testing, like a software testing. Upstream is from where the data is sent to. For example, if you are using the online payment option like Myntra, your cart is upstream because you are sending the data, you are adding the cart and you're adding something in the cart. That is upstream. Downstream will be like the payment service. How it is like payment service, if you are doing the UPI payment or if you're doing card payment, that is downstream. I'll give you the definition also here. Upstream means the system or process that sends the data into your future or module you are testing that affects your system. The same which I have said, you are adding the UPI payment option to an online shopping site. That is an example for upstream. I'll give you other example also for delivery app. For example, if you're taking Swiggy, your restaurant system that which the restaurant has load the menu in upstream, their app, and you are a customer, and they will see the menu list in our app, in our Swiggy app. That is our downstream. Are you clear on this?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and this will affect our testing also, which like our FluxCube will be upstream and the downstream will be our application. For example, if I am taking GoML, GoML is an application, and whatever the data which is there in FluxCube that need to be flow in GoML also. So that is the way that will affect the testing also. So we need to check what are the data which is properly there in upstream, that should be in downstream also. Like I will tell you like what are the things which we need to check. We need to check the data flow, because the data flow, if the data is properly in there upstream, it should be like, see, if your data, you need to check the data from the upstream is correctly received and displayed in the downstream. I have given you the example also, like CASA account is created in FluxCube, that is an upstream application. That should be reflected in the dashboard in downstream also. And it is a dependency awareness also. Like if the upstream fails or sending the wrong data, the downstream test also must be failed, because the data in upstream is like the dependency is main actually in this. As a tester, we need to check. We should not raise a false bug or report. Like if you're checking downstream and we can able to raise the bug, like this data is not proper. This data is not completely showing in the downstream application without checking in upstream. That we should not do. We need to avoid the false bugs. Could you able to understand this?
Once again,
Yeah, actually, yes, actually, Upstream is FluxCube, like FluxCube application. FluxCube core banking is upstream. And did you understand the example, the previous which I have told, like that food delivery app application?
Okay.
I'll repeat once.
Yeah.
Like the food delivery app application, the restaurant food delivery application is upstream. If your hotels or restaurants, they are uploading their menus, their own menus in upstream application. Like for example, they have like tiffin menus, lunch menus, and dinner menus. They need to upload in upstream their own app, and that will display in our Swiggy app. The our Swiggy app is different from theirs because they'll upload from there. And because I do have this much amount of dosa, this much amount of idlis there in our hotel. And as a customer, we will open our app and we'll order. This is the menu which we want, and we will add in our cart and we will order. Right, that is our downstream application.
Okay.
Is it clear now?
Yes,
Yeah,
madam.
that is the same way which we are using in our FluxCube also.
Okay.
Like FluxCube core banking is like upstream. It's an upstream application, and the application which you are going to test for, I'm taking the example for GoAML. GoAML is an AML application. I'm taking the example of that. For example, the data whichever there in the account whichever there in FluxCube core banking need to reflect in GoAML application also,
Okay.
because the data flow need to be there. We need to check as a tester. These are all the points like test data flow, dependency awareness, and the next points also we need to check from our end. For example, if we are testing the downstream application GoAML, and if the data is not flowing properly, and I am raising the bug in Jira. Okay, you are aware of the Jira tool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we are raising Jira. It will come in future slides. If I'm raising the bug in Jira without testing the FluxCube, like whether the data is there in FluxCube or not.
Okay.
If the data is not in FluxCube, it will not flows in downstream also. That we need to check both. Like for example, I am raising the bug without checking upstream, and the bug will reverse back. Like the data is not there in FluxCube also. You need to check that. That is
Okay.
that is known as false bug.
Okay. Now. Yes. Now.
Okay. And the end-to-end scenarios we need to check often, like the same which I have discussed previously. The often end-to-end scenarios we need to check. Yeah, which I have discussed. How the transaction flows from FluxCube to other modules like loan processing, notification. All the modules you can check. Not even single module. Like CASA account is opened in FluxCube, and it should be reflect in the other modules also. And error handling. You need to test how the downstream behave when the upstream sends the incomplete data. Like the name is not there in FluxCube. It should not be there in downstream application also. If it is sending incorrect applications, the FluxCube doesn't have transaction ID. The downstream should have and shows an error or crash. It should shows error because there is no transaction ID in FluxCube means in downstream application also it should be error. It should not shows any transaction ID. And timing and sync issues. It should be correctly synced. Both the systems should correctly sync. The data in the both the systems should correctly sync. It should not differ. And there should not be any delay or mismatch. Is it clear in this slide?
Yes. Timing
Shall we
is
move
solve
ahead?
this issue, right?
Yes, everything. Timing. These are all the 5 points, 5 main points. It's a lot
Yes.
of points are there. These are 5 main points which we need to check both downstream and upstream applications.
Okay.
And here, this is the testing process which we will involve. Like first, requirement analysis. Like we need to understand what the business needs. Like business will be like stakeholders, product owners, or BA. Those are all comes under business. Like we need to understand what are the requirements that business needs, and we need to check how to solve the problems if it occur in future. If you know, you need to figure out the problems. and you need to identify which we have discussed previously, upstream and downstream application, how it will impact. The second, we are coming to test planning, like what to test, how to test, and when. What to test means like this application, how long it will take, and we need to how to test it, like how to write the test design. The next point is like test case design, how to write the test design, which involves like test case IDs, scenarios, and test cases and result. We will discuss in next slide. And this is an environmental setup. Once the test design is ready, we need to get the sign off from the business. And next point is an environment setup. Once we got sign off from the business, we need to check the environment is ready. If environment is ready, we should have handy of test data. Like for example, if you are logging into an application, you should you should have the data, like what are the login ID, what are the data you should include, like account numbers for testing, account numbers, names, loan account numbers, a blocked account, and active accounts. All the data you should have in handy. Like we need that. Like we will get from, hello, could you hear me right?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. And the test execution, we need to run the test. And the next step is that environment is setup means we need to check sanity, and then we need to run the test cases. As per test cases, we need to run first login, and then next application, next, and we need to run the test case and log the defects. If there is any defect, we need to log the defects, and we need to track the defects in sequence manner with a date and properly, which we have raised with an ID, definition, and whether it is pass or fail. If it is the bug which is raised past week, which we are testing now, it is pass means we need to track the defects. That is defect tracking and reporting. And once it is completed, everything should be documented and wrap up. Make sure that the application is working properly. That is what we need to do from our end. This is the entire testing process, which is in a simple manner. You have any clarifications or any suggestions in this? Doubts?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
See, yeah, this is the one which we are going to write the test cases. This is a basic manner which we are going to write the test cases. Like test case ID is required. That should be unique. Test case means TC. If test scenario means TS, it should be TS. Basically, it is TS, test scenario. Test case is TC. And whatever you are going to do, that one with ID 001, 002, like that. Each test case has unique ID. That is what we can able to easily track the test case. And description. What about this? If this is login means we need to verify the login and valid inputs. And the steps, username, password. These are all the steps which include, because if you're login, username and password is required. And if there is any login button, you need to click login. These are the steps. And the expected result is like it should be login properly. The login should be done successfully. This is the expected result, what we should expect without checking in system. This is the expected result. This is the actual result, what we have checked in our system. See, that should be proper. That should be same. Login has been done successfully. If this is same, it is pass. If it is not logging successfully, that is fail case. And we need to raise a bug.
Okay.
Wait, yeah. This is the basic format of writing the test cases. Yeah, this is the slide which we are going to see. Execution and pass log. Pass log contains the successful test cases. What are the successful test cases which have? That is the pass log. And it helps to monitor the stability and coverage. This is a Jira screen actually. This is a sample screen, Jira screen. And this is the ID. And these are all the summary of the bugs which we have created. So we need to track this. This is like a defect tracking screen. You can able to export this also. Pass log is which you have created, which is past test cases which you are creating, and this is like defect tracking logs. Is it clear? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is a test report preparation. Once you have completed that test, you need to create a test report, which includes like a summary of testing activities. What are the activities which have done, involving like number of test cases executed, and number of test case passed, number of test case failed, and also defect summary and the recommendation. Like if you have some suggestion in that, you can also involve in that. This is the main thing which involve in test report preparation. And next we are going to see about ISTQB certification. And may I know any of you done this?
No.
Okay, actually, yeah, actually this is like International Software Testing Qualification Board, which will upgrade you. This is a global standard for software testing certification, which will help you to formalize your knowledge and skill set. This is upgrade your skill set. And there are 3 levels: foundation, advanced, and expert. Basically, we will start with foundation, and which will cost around 5.5 to 7. See, actually, which will cost around, yeah, 5.5 to 7. And yeah, it will give you the global recognition and career growth. Basically, it will properly give you a career growth because it is an additional certification to your journey. Yeah, it is in India, it is cost around minimum to 5.5 to 7,000. And I'll give you the link. See the details. This is a study material you can found in ISTQB website itself, istqb.in. And some sample papers you can found in this website, Guru 99 Software Testing Help. You can able to find the study material. And this is the website you can able to register, istqb.in. And you can choose the exam mode, online or physical center based, date and location, and you need to pay the fee. Like this is a final slide which you are going to see, like basic practice of good quality testing. Like the testing will start once the FSD or BRD will sign off will be done. FSD is functional specific document and BRD is business requirement document. Once sign off is done, testing team need to be engaged and we need to check how the testing will be starts. Like FS test cases need to be like which I have previously mentioned, like the test case which you have done need to be agreed and give sign off by business or operations. And for testing starts with the target date after delivery. The delivery of application, we need to start the testing, and we need to provide the daily testing report and the escalation status on time. Because if we are providing on time, the go live will be on time. We need to perform the regular regression testing. If something is added to your application, new feature is added to your application, we need to check the old one that is not affecting old one or not. And for a test case should be whether positive and negative. Like you need to check positive test case as well as negative test case. For example, if you are giving a proper login name and ID, it should log in. And you need to check whether we are giving the wrong password, system is logging in or not. Because whether if you are giving long password, system is logging in means there is an issue. There is a bug.
Okay.
So there should be a proper login ID and password. You need to check negative also. That is a major thing for tester. All the kinds of negative testing we need to done before the application need to be in hands of user. And if there is any meeting with developers and business, we need to actively participate whether we are in a right track or not. And we need to use the tools properly, like testing tools, Jira, TestRail, Zephyr. We need to check this properly. Like we need to use these tools properly for backtracking. And you have any questions in this till now?
Clear.
Sorry.
Clear, Sufa. It's no question.
Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, these are all the things which I have covered, basic things. There are in depth.
Okay.
There are a lot of things are there. Basically, testing which involve these are all the things. So, but there is, yeah, this is all which have covered. Okay. Is there anything, any other thing?
Yes, yes, regarding so